Today, you need to be careful when overclocking. The largest gaming expo is officially dead. Sony's PS5 Pro is a massive performance boost, and Ryzen 8000 APUs are better than we thought. Welcome everyone to Gamer Meld. First up for today, it looks like AMD now knows when you've overclocked one of their new Threadripper 7000 CPUs. The story originally comes from this Twitter user who shared a screenshot of their BIOS that says overclocking will permanently be enabled and that it effectively voids your warranty. Apparently AMD has included a fuse in the CPUs that blow when you enable overclocking, but it doesn't exactly void your warranty. In a statement to Tom's Hardware, AMD clarified that while they do have a fuse that's blown when you overclock your CPU, the warranty isn't voided or anything like that. Instead, it simply excludes damages that are the result of overclocking. Unrelated damage is still under warranty. Apparently, the message seen by the Twitter user is a warning from the ODM and not AMD directly, but AMD says that they'll work with their partners to have these warnings cleaned up. Still, it means that you could have a denied warranty claim thanks to overclocking your CPU. And this begs the question of how AMD will know when something is directly related to overclocking. I mean, a fried chip from massive voltage spikes are likely due to user error, but will the not so obvious cases be simply chalked up to overclocking? That's likely at the discretion of AMD. Apparently AMD did have something similar in their Threadripper 5000 chips, and we haven't really heard of AMD denying claims because of overclocking, but we shall see. Obviously, AMD shouldn't have to pay for a user who decides to go wild on voltage during an overclock or anything like that, but hopefully AMD doesn't use this as an excuse to deny claims that they should fix. Now, while talking about PC hardware is always fun, I prefer to really get in there and learn how it all works, and the only place I trust for that is this video's sponsor, Brilliant, the online learning platform that was made to teach the STEM field, so you know what you're learning is not only right, but up to date. Because as you know, technology is always evolving. Take AI for instance. Brilliant already has new courses on large language models that power your favorite AI chatbot. They also have some of the best courses on programming, quantum computing, search engines, and a ton more. But it's not just about what they have, it's also how they teach you, which is by getting you to do it yourself with their fun and engaging puzzles. So don't wait any longer, because Brilliant is offering my viewers a 30-day free trial when you visit brilliant.org/gamermeld. Plus, when you sign up at brilliant.org/gamermeld, you'll get 20% off the premium membership for life. Once again, that's brilliant.org/gamermeld. Next up for today, what was once the largest yearly event for the gaming industry, E3, is officially dead. Originally announced by the Washington Post and later tweeted out by the company's official Twitter account, E3 is no more. Of course, it's not a huge surprise given E3's last in-person event was all the way back in 2019. In 2020, the pandemic caused the event to be canceled, forcing large publishers to do their own events directly to consumers. Then in 2021, it was digital only. In 2022, it was canceled again with the promise of 2023 being a hybrid online and in-person event. Yet that was canceled as well. So 2024 was set to be their big comeback, but unfortunately, that clearly isn't happening. Of course, E3 seemed to have been going downhill over the years anyway, but it was nice to see all the announcements all at the same time. Let me know what your favorite memory of E3 was down in the comments below. Next up, the PlayStation 5 Pro looks to be coming, and it's said to be a massive upgrade over the regular PS5. And while I usually only cover PC hardware news, consoles are essentially PCs at this point. The story comes from a new report by Video Cards where they took multiple leaks regarding the upcoming consoles to get an idea of specs as well as release information and more. And luckily, we should have even more details soon, as a trusted leaker claims that we should get the full specs this month as Sony delivers dev kits to third parties. Either way, right now we do have a few things. For starters, the codename of the PS5 Pro is Project Trinity. Then the codename for the SoC itself is Viola. And it's this SoC where things get very interesting. For starters, the CPU itself isn't all that special, given it's a Zen 2 part with 8 cores at 4.4 GHz. But as usual, the bottleneck in these cases is gonna be the GPU. And there, the PS5 Pro supposedly comes with an RDNA 3 based GPU with 66 CUs. For reference, that's the same number of CUs as the RX 7800 XT. One leaker seems to think it's 56 CUs, but that may be older information. Either way, that's a massive jump from the 36 compute units in the current PS5. Oh, and those are only RDNA 2, so it's a bump in architecture as well. While the memory amount is staying the same at 16 GB, it's now faster with 18 gigabits per second instead of 14. Not only that, but it's apparently set to be announced in September of next year with a release in November. At the end of the day, Sony's updated console is looking like one beast that should finally be able to give us 4K 60 FPS. Fingers crossed. And lastly for today, we have some of our first benchmarks on AMD's next-gen Ryzen 8000 APUs. And I have to admit that they actually look better than I thought. When I initially went over AMD's announcement, I pointed out the fact that their next-gen APUs aren't exactly a big upgrade over their 7000 parts. In fact, they essentially have the exact same clocks, cores, and pretty much everything, with the only real upgrade being in AI performance, which is why they announced them at their AI event. Well, in a couple new benchmarks from Geekbench, it looks like they're better than we initially thought. First up, we have the 8-core 16-thread part that looks to be the Ryzen 9 8945HS, and as you can see, it got a single-core score of 2608 and a multi-core score of 12683. And when we compare these to their last-gen counterpart, you can see that it got around a 5% increase in performance. Sure, that's not much, but it's better than nothing. Then we have a benchmark of the Ryzen 5 8645HS, which is a 6-core 12-thread CPU that got a single-core score of 2490 and a multi-core score of 10627. What's wild here is that the multi-core score is a whopping 10% faster than the 7640HS, so there is a real difference here. Maybe there's a TDP difference, though the iGPU performance of the higher-end models don't indicate that, though the lower-end ones might, so maybe the boost in AI performance is actually helping here, though I'm not sure which applications this could help in given it's a synthetic benchmark. But it may be interesting to see if we can get a noticeable difference in at least something. Time, as always, will tell. So while that does it for today, do you think these AI chips are actually going to help us in day-to-day applications? Let me know what you think down in the comments below. And don't forget to try out Brilliant for free at brilliant.org/gamermeld. And as always, have a great day.